So, guys, the time is almost up. And I'm saying that because tomorrow on Wednesday, the parliament will be voting on that unpopular budget of the ANC, the zero point 0.5 VAT increased budget of the ANC. And it's quite bizarre, man, because if you listen to the ANC is quite positive that they are going to get the budget passed, even without the support of the Democratic Alliance. This is what the ANC say, that no, man, at this point, we don't care about the Democratic Alliance. We are going to get this budget passed. And again, I'm saying the time is up because I think on Wednesday, South Africans are going to see which politicians and which political parties have been lying to them. Because let's get this clear, any political party that is going to support the ANC on this zero point 0.5 VAT increased budget of theirs, it is an enemy of the people, and this political party should be treated as an enemy of the people. It should be treated as an enemy of the people, because you can't tell me that as a political party you are going to support this budget knowing how bad things are in this country. Knowing how bad things are in this country. And South Africans must remember these political parties when they go to the polls in 2026. They must remember these political parties that have supported the ANC in increasing the VAT, knowing how bad things are in this country. They should do that, because any political party that is going to support the ANC on this VAT increased budget, they don't want the ANC to actually be held accountable. Because for the longest of times, people have been saying that there is corruption inside the government. There is this thing that they call what is this thing that they like to call the irregular expenditure that is taking place in the government. There is a lot of corruption, and nobody is being held accountable at the higher offices. Nobody is being held accountable at the government because of this corruption. But for some reason, they expect South Africans to continue paying. And these political parties that are going to support the ANC, they are actually condoning this bad behavior of the ANC. They are not only supporting the ANC in parliament, but they are also condoning this bad behavior of the ANC of not taking accountability for anything and continuing to tax the people of this country until they die. So South Africans tomorrow must pay very close attention to these political parties and these politicians. This is what must happen tomorrow. This is what must happen tomorrow. Because how can the ANC go around telling the people that we are not going to cut anything, we are not going to look at the expenditure, the government is not going to look, the president of the country is not going to look at this bloated cabinet, we are not going to look at our blue lights, we are not going to cut anything, but we want the people of this country to continue paying for us to have all of these things while there is no accountability. Any political party that is going to support that, it is supporting and condoning the behavior of the ANC. They are condoning the behavior of the ANC, and they should be treated as the enemies of the people. They should be treated as the enemies of the people. So the question comes, where is the ANC going to get those votes? Where are they going to get those votes? Where are they going to get these votes? Man, I cannot wait to see which political parties are actually going to support and condone this bad behavior of the ANC. I cannot wait for that. I cannot wait for that. Last night, the leader of the Democratic Alliance actually posted this on social media. He said that time is almost up. Last night, the ANC refused to finalize an agreement on growth and spending reforms, imperiling the GNU. The DA will oppose the budget unless and until a written agreement is reached. This is what John Steenhuisen has basically said. This is what the Democratic Alliance is saying, that no, we are not going to support this budget of the ANC. We are not going to support this budget of the ANC. So it still begs the question, man, where is the ANC going to get this budget? Where is the ANC going to get this vote? Because I remember I was watching an interview on Newsroom Live. This is an interview that I'm talking about. And on this interview, the ANC has literally threatened the DA to say that if we manage to pass this budget without the support of the Democratic Alliance, we don't know if the Democratic Alliance will still be the member of the GNU. If we manage to pass this budget without the support of the Democratic Alliance, we don't know if the DA will still be the part of the GNU. I don't know, guys, but to me, it sounds like a threat. It sounds like a threat. It sounds like these people are going to say that, guys, we are giving you the last chance. You better support us. You better support us, because if you don't support us and we get this budget passed, you are not going to be the members of the GNU anymore. You are going to lose all of these ministerial positions. You are going to lose them. We know that you guys love the blue lights. We understand that you are in government today and you are enjoying all of these perks of being in government, but you are going to forfeit all of that if we manage to get this budget passed without your support. And guys, don't you think that the MK party has been too quiet on this? I remember someone said that to me yesterday. He said, Thomas, everybody is talking about the DA, especially when it comes to this thing of the budget. But don't you think that the MK party is being too quiet for this? And I said, man, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It is going to be a movie tomorrow, guys. It is going to be a movie. We are going to get shocked tomorrow. Just listen to the chief whip of the ANC.
The DA federal leader actually tweeted and said that time is almost up. Last night, the ANC refused to finalize an agreement on growth and spending reforms, imperiling the GNU. The DA will oppose the budget until a written agreement is reached. So once again, a question that I'd actually posed even to the Freedom Front Plus is, you have a government of national unity. You have some members who do not agree with the budget. How then do you implement that government of national unity's policies if you do not agree with the financing of those programs, and the Democratic Alliance remains part of the government of national unity?
Well, I don't know, Adrian, whether the DA will remain part of the GNU when Parliament has passed a budget that they do not support. I'm yet to see. I've never seen it anywhere in the world.
Did you hear that, guy? It is a threat. I don't know about you, but to me, it sounds like it is a threat, and it sounds like the ANC is saying that you better support this budget. We are warning you, you better support this budget, because if we get the votes somewhere else and you guys are not pouring your votes into this hat, you are going to regret it.
Government of national unity.
Well, I don't know, Adrian, whether the DA will remain part of the GNU when Parliament has passed a budget that they do not support. I'm yet to see. I've never seen it anywhere in the world where a component of any kind of coalition or a government of national unity decide to stand very firm and oppose a budget and remain in government. I will see if that is going to happen in South Africa. Our own view is that, and we've been telling the DA, it's not appropriate to engage with the ANC and all other political parties via the media and social networks. Come to a...
But guys, again, before this guy continues to go on, don't you find it very strange that these people are not happy with the fact that the DA is speaking with the ANC via the media and other alternative media, but they don't have a problem with them going outside of the GNU. They have a problem with the DA speaking with the ANC via the media, but they don't have a problem with themselves going outside of the GNU. Don't you think that this is a bit hypocritical? Because to me, it sounds like it's a bit hypocritical. Because these people, they formed the government of national unity. They formed the government of national unity. So they are supposed to sit down with their partners in the government of national unity and disagree and fight with each other until they find solutions. But when the ANC does not get what they want, they go outside of the GNU. And they don't see anything wrong with that. No, we can speak with other political parties, man. You can go to the documents of the government of national unity. This is what they like to say. You can go to the documents of the government of national unity, and there is no clause that says that the ANC cannot speak with other political parties outside of the GNU. They don't think that they think that it is okay for them to actually speak with other political parties outside of the GNU. basically spitting in the face of the political parties that are in the GNU. But as soon as the DA starts to speak with them through the media, they throw their tantrums. No, how can the DA go to the media and speak? How can they leak these documents? No, it is unacceptable what the DA is doing. But how is it acceptable for them to go outside of the GNU? Because they are supposed to speak with their partners in the GNU. They are supposed to listen to their partners in the GNU, because what the ANC is doing, it is clear as day that the ANC believes that they are still the ruling party. The ANC has not accepted that they are in government with other political parties. Because if these people had actually agreed that they are in government with other political parties, they would sit down and actually have debates with their partners in the government of national unity. They are supposed to argue with their partners in the government of national unity. They are supposed to have long conversations with their partners in the government of national unity. But when there is no agreement in the GNU, the ANC doesn't have a problem going outside and having conversations with other people that are outside of the GNU, basically undermining the GNU. But when other people are doing things to undermine the GNU, they are the first ones to actually throw their tantrums. It makes no sense to me.
Decide to stand very firm and oppose a budget and remain in government. I will see if that is going to happen in South Africa. Our own view is that, and we've been telling the DA, it's not appropriate to engage with the ANC and all other political parties via the media and social networks. Come to a bilateral, as we did last night, to engage with the DA, look at their issues one-on-one. And we told them we're not going to agree on the following issues and many others that they've raised. We can't say we must do away with the NYDA for you to support the budget. We can't agree that we must devolve major powers of national government to your province, to Western Cape, which you consider to be your province, for you to support the budget. We cannot agree that we must do away with progressive legislation, such as NHI, as well as expropriation, in order for you to say. And in any case, some of these issues that the DA is raising, including the powers they want to be assigned to one of the deputy ministers who happen to be a member of the DA, have nothing to do with the budget. They are essentially about them trying to score a political points on a matter that is completely relevant and at variant with what we are dealing with. Anthony, we have now discussed with all political parties. Let me tell you, and South Africans, at the moment, the majority of the political parties in the GNU and in that parliament have agreed overwhelmingly on the budget. The only aspect that we are refining this morning, and I can give you an assurance that it's going to be refined in a way that secures a consensus, is how to go about dealing with the 0.5% VAT increase. The whole range of other issues that parties had raised in the past 2 weeks, when we were not engaging in the public muscling that the DA has been inviting us to, we've been engaging political parties because our view as the ANC is that this is the parliament of all political parties who are represented. And at the end of the day, it's a parliament of the people of South Africa. And therefore, it's important that the budget must be seen and be understood to be a budget that has been accepted by Parliament and not just one or two parties represented in Parliament, including those who are in the GNU. So if the DA decide that we're not going to support what the parties have agreed on and are proposing this morning, and let alone what goes to Parliament tomorrow, that will be their own decision. But that doesn't mean that budget is not going to be passed. And it also doesn't mean that that is going to affect the GNU. The GNU is made up of 9 political parties. You are there voluntarily. If you want to walk away from the GNU, that's perfectly your own decision, and the ANC is not going to interfere with that.
Yeah.
This is what the ANC is saying. This is what the ANC is saying. And I'm always amazed at the arrogance of the ANC, because the ANC forgets that if it wasn't for the DA, and Ramaphosa would not be the president of the country. If it wasn't for the DA, the ANC would not have the Speaker of the Parliament. They would not have all of that. But today, they pretend like, no, we don't care about those people. But they forget that this is the same political party that has actually made concessions so that they can have the power. But today, they are undermining the same political party that has actually given them the power that they enjoy today. You know, this mistake that the DA has made this year, not last year. I hope all the political parties have actually learned from the mistake that the DA has made. From making Ramaphosa the president of the country, Thoko Didiza the speaker of the parliament, Panyaza Lesufi the premier of Gauteng, and all of these people turning around and stabbing them in the back. I hope that all the political parties have actually learned from these mistakes that the DA has actually made by actually giving these people the power. Because they would think that the ANC would actually appreciate what the DA has done for them. And they would actually sit down with the DA and have proper conversations with the DA. But right now, the ANC, they are not budging. And again, I cannot wait to see the political parties that are going to support the ANC on this budget. I cannot wait to see the politicians that are going to condone the behavior of the ANC on this budget. Because let's get it very clear. The politicians that are going to support this budget of the ANC, they are supporting and condoning the behavior of the ANC of the past 30 years of no accountability and corruption. This is what they are condoning. No accountability and corruption. So the DA was supposed to have a press briefing about all of this, but they've decided to cancel that press briefing.
Well, we now take you back to this developing story. The DA has cancelled its press briefing to update on the budget vote negotiations. Our reporter Ziyanda Ngobo joins us now live from Cape Town with those details. Ziyanda, very good morning to you. We just concluded a conversation with the chief whip of the ANC, Mdumiseni Ntuli, who says that the budget will be passed with or without the Democratic Alliance. And now this announcement as well, that the press briefing has been cancelled.
Absolutely, Aldrin, and I can tell you just from a behind-the-scenes perspective that there's a fierce competition to control the narrative. And this morning, it was actually meant to be the Democratic Alliance's John Steenhuisen leading that press briefing ahead of the ANC. The ANC also trying to get ahead of it, sending its ANC chief whip behind the scenes saying, well, perhaps it should be Fikile Mbalula at Luthuli House leading the communications. And I listened in to that conversation with him, They've been shopping around for alternatives outside of the DA. Of course, remember that they had written to President Cyril Ramaphosa 13-page documents outlining conditions under which they would accept that 0.5% VAT hike. Doesn't seem like the ANC has given into that. So, of course, today, Aldrin, you'll know that those standing committees are going to be meeting, as well as the appropriations bill. There are 11 people on those committees. The ANC confident that they'll be able to pass those revenue bills, but tomorrow is the big day. 42 votes are needed to be able to pass this budget. Let's talk to the DA. Are you on the back foot, Karabo Kakao? Why have you decided to now all of a sudden postpone this press conference?
Good morning, Ziyanda. Good morning to your viewers. We're not on a back foot. We're still well on our way to our commitment to South Africans to ensure that whatever budget is tabled and that we are able to support is one that at its heart has economic reform policies that are able to ensure that we enlarge our economy, that we're able to roll out job creation opportunities that will ensure that we're able to bridge the gap between the rich and the poor in this country. And that is on the basis of that. That is why then we're still having conversations that we are having right now. You would know that we were supposed to last night have concluded our conversation with the ANC, and that's why we were supposed to have our presser earlier. But the conversation hasn't concluded yet. I can confirm that President Ramaphosa as well as our federal leader John Steenhuisen are scheduled to meet today, and after that we'll be able to come back with more.
I mean, yesterday that meeting...
Ramaphosa meeting with John Steenhuisen. I mean, hey, do you trust John Steenhuisen to stand his own against Ramaphosa? Do you trust John Steenhuisen to stand his own against Ramaphosa? Because I'm quite worried, man, because if you look at the DA, a lot of people have actually said that, no, Thomas, but you know, there's nothing that the DA could have actually done to stop the ANC from implementing the radical policies, because these policies were proposed to the parliament in their previous administration. But one thing that I always say is that the GNU, it is not the extension of the sixth administration. The GNU has nothing to do with the sixth administration, so the DA was never supposed to allow the ANC to actually pass all of those radical policies. Because the GNU, it is not the extension of the sixth administration. And I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure, guys. There's something missing in all of this, man. There's something missing in all of this. There's something missing in all of this, and someone is lying to South Africans. Someone is lying to South Africans because, first of all, why are these two political parties not releasing that letter that the DA has sent to the president? You know, that letter that the DA has actually sent to the president, I think there's a lot in that letter. I honestly believe that there's a lot in that letter, and I honestly believe that if that letter could be leaked to the public, there's a lot that people can actually extract from that letter. The fact that that letter is being kept such a secret, it is a concern to me as a citizen, because truth of the matter is that I wanted to see that letter, and I know I'm not the only person who wants to see that letter. I know everybody wants to see that letter. Everybody wants to see what the DA said to the president. And now the leader of the DA is going to meet with the president of the country. And again, they are going to do it confidentially, because everything about Ramaphosa is confidential. Just like his dollars under his mattresses, it was confidential. And right now, his conversations with the DA, it is confidential. And these people, if they don't reach an agreement, they are going to come out in the media accusing each other and not providing us with any proof. And I think it is unfair to us as the people that these people can go out and actually accuse each other on all sorts of things and not even give us a proof. I think it is unfair on us. I think it is unfair on us, man. You know, guys, something is missing here. I don't want to lie, man. Something is missing here. Something is missing here, and someone is lying to South Africans.
Didn't go according to plan, but I mean, I must say, you released the alert that you'd be having the press briefing before you even met with the ANC. That meeting was at 7 p.m. You'd already released it early in the afternoon. Perhaps the DA was more confident before entering that meeting, and after that meeting, well, things still didn't come together.
We're confident because when we negotiate, Zianda, we negotiate in good faith. And we assume that the people on the negotiating table also have the best interests of South Africans at heart, knowing that we're supposed to have the meetings that you outlined today, knowing that it's a matter of urgency for us to conclude on economic policies. But it's also important for South Africans to understand that what we are tabling here is nothing that is hard altogether to comprehend. It's certainly, if the Democratic Alliance was alone in government with a 50% plus one power of voting power, we wouldn't even be having a conversation about a VAT increase or a personal income tax increase at all, because our alternative fiscal framework plan is one that is able to cover the 60 billion shortfall by making sure that we deal with wasteful and irregular expenditure altogether, to make sure that we cut down on the advertisement budget, we cut down on the travel and catering budget, that we're able to deal with ghost employees that we have across departments and municipalities in this country. So, and this is something that is very easy, that can be copied and pasted all together. And that is where the heart of the Democratic Alliance is. And we assume that anybody that has taken an oath of office to serve South Africans will also have their heart in the position that looks at South Africans as people and looks at the budget that is supposed to govern their lives as one that is a matter of urgency enough to conclude on.
With or without you, the budget will pass, so says ANC Chief Whip Mdumiseni Ntuli. If that actually comes to fruition, will the DA leave the government of national unity?
They must try past that budget without the Democratic Alliance. We'll see.
What does that mean? Are you committing that you will leave the government of national unity should the ANC shop around for people parties outside of the DA, which they claim they've already calculated and have gotten the numbers?
The Democratic Alliance will not sit and work with a budget that we do not believe serves the best interests of South Africans. So if push comes to shove and we find ourselves in a position where the GNU is unworkable altogether, where there is no sobriety as far as the direction we're supposed to take, then if we must, yes.
The ANC says you are negotiating in bad faith. You want to use the budget as a political football to negotiate, legislation that's already been passed, the NHI Act, Bella Act, as well as the Expropriation Act. What exactly is it that you're seeking to achieve here? Are you just afraid of climbing down from your very rigid stance that it's no 0.5 percentage point VAT hike, even though perhaps some would say this would have been a more reasonable stance?
There's nothing reasonable about expecting South Africans who are already struggling to put food on the table for themselves and their families to dig deeper into pockets that are already leaking, pockets that they do not have. And it is on the basis of that the Democratic Alliance conversation here seeks to make sure that we protect South Africans from that, right? And the ANC is being opportunistic. They are spewing propaganda by saying that we are trying to achieve other things other than the heart of the Democratic Alliance's participation in the GNU, which is economic growth, which is job creation, which is alleviating poverty altogether. They are unable to justify to their voter base and to this country how is it that in the last 31 years they have mismanaged public funds, they've stolen some of them, nobody is in jail, nobody has returned that money altogether. And now they expect South Africans to fit the bill of a mess that they've created altogether. But we want to assure South Africans, Wenazianda, that for as long as the Democratic Alliance is in the government of national unity, under our watch, government's purse will be respected. The people's money will be used for the people in alignment with what the constitution of this country expects us to do, which is to be there, to be the vanguards of South Africans, to make sure that they have service delivery, that they wake up to a government that is obviously now that which they have expected all along, which is a sober government.
Let them try, says Karabo Khakau, in terms of whether the ANC will forge ahead with passing that budget without the Democratic Alliance. Sounds a bit like a threat to me, Algin. A long day ahead leading up to those committee meetings. 9 o'clock, Lutuli House, Figel and Balula also expected to lead that briefing. At the same time, according to Khakau, President Cyril Ramaphosa and DA leader John Steenhuisen will also have a bilateral. What will that yield? Is this the collapse of the government of national unity? Only time will tell at this stage.
Hi. You know, guys, I don't want to lie. These people can say whatever that they want to say, but the fact that they are not being transparent with us as the people, like, this is the only gripe that I have with these people. And they are not being transparent with all of us. They are not being transparent with us as the people. They are not. So I guess we will wait and see what's going to happen tomorrow. I guess we will wait to see what is happening tomorrow. But I'm still maintaining my position. Someone is lying to the people of this country. Someone is lying to the people of this country because something is not adding up here, man. Something is not adding up here, man. The ANC and the DA. One day you people are going to tell the truth, but something is not adding up. Guys, please tell me what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button and the most important part, subscribe. My name is Thomas Mabaso. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.